So they've been acclimated and taught to be impressed with movie stars and wealthy people with big money. But
it seems that the elite themselves have gotten more reckless and wild.
Oh, of course. And the reason why is because they realize the entire human race is worthless. That the entire human race is going to buy anything you put out there, and now it's like the criminal element doesn't even know what to do with itself anymore. It's so easy. It's so easy to just fool the people because they love it.
Well, that's, I mean, exactly. That's like the White House publicly says they're running Al-Qaeda and has them attacking Iran, and the media says Iran is Al-Qaeda when they're Shiites, the opposite group. And then it's just all over the news. Republicans saying we love terror attacks. They sure help us. And I mean, how much more obvious? And then Gary Hart writes a letter, has it published in the newspaper, saying our government stages attacks. Iran better do what they're told. I mean, they're basically, they may come out and say they did it soon.
Well, I know. But you know what? Nobody's going to care. Couldn't care less because it doesn't mean much to anybody anyway. So it's just, and even on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, when he does the jaywalks, when he walks out in the street and talks to people and asks the average American, who won the Second World War? They don't even know what you're talking about. They didn't know there was a Second World War. And, and of course that thing we talked about before about that young lady, Miss Teen America, that was so appalling to me. I still wake up in a sweaty.
But that's how, listen, that's how people are. If you know any history, they look at you like you're weird, and people kind of sit back in their chairs and act scared.
I had friends, my personal friends, many years ago. That's what they used to say about me, that you're weird. You study, and one guy told me, he said, you're the only person I know in our circle of friends that you don't fit. I mean, there's something about you that's just not right. And I said, in what way? Well, I mean, you read all that crazy stuff. And I said, like what? Well, for instance, all those law books and all that stuff about religion and all of that. And, the bottom line is that he is so far removed from reality that anybody has a half a brain looks like a freak to him. So I know what it is. If you are smart, intelligent, and inquisitive, you're not going to fit in this world of the new order.
Stay there, Jordan Maxwell. We're going to keep talking. They're going to put in every major U.S. airport a system where you're totally naked, scans an image and saves it of your naked body. I told you that 6 years ago. Now it's mainstream news, and they tell you. Now they take blood without warrants at checkpoints. And Jordan was, during the behind-the-scenes PrisonPlanet.tv discussion, he was bringing up the airports. This is our slave training, isn't it, Jordan?
No doubt about it. I mean, anybody that's got more than 500 brain cells going all in the same direction knows it. It's just it's outrageous. But I was just saying that I went to Disney Studios yesterday, and because I got a letter from Disney saying that there was a piece of work that I'm doing with Disney, and they needed a contract signed, and so they said, get this back to us immediately because you only have a couple of days to get this contract in, so get it immediately or bring it over. So I took the contract over in the envelope, sealed it up, and drove over there.
And all the security guard had to do was throw it in the mailbox.
Yeah, just throw it in the mailbox and drop it in the mail. So I said, this is just a piece of mail, but I wanted to drop it in instead of mailing it because it's time sensitive. And he said, oh, no, we can't do that. So we have to open it. We have to open it up, and I have to read it to see what's in it first before I can deliver the mail. I have to, at Disney, I have to open the mail, and I have to read the contract, and I've got to see exactly who wrote this contract and who signed it and what it's all about.
Just no privacy, no nothing, no, just total control.
Total. And I said, why don't you just drop it in the mail? And if there's anything wrong, the people who it's going to will tell me. That's not your business to know. You're just a security. No, I've got the badge. I'm in charge. It's I'm the boss because I have the badge. So I have to open the mail, and I have to sit down and take a few minutes and read this contract and see who it's going to and who signed it, and before I can drop it in. And I said, why don't you just drop it in the mail? No, I have the badge, and it's my job, and I'm in charge. Well, it's the same kind of thing at the airports. That's why I don't fly anymore. That's why I do not fly anymore, because I don't have to take my pants off, my shoes off, and have everything. Why bother? I just don't even fly
But now
anymore.
It's going to be on the buses, trains, and the sides of the street. And they know it's dog training. Training us how to be slaves.
Well, that's it. I don't know what else to say. It's all right there in your face.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. If the United States is run by the Knights Templars, or I guess you said it's inseparable, and then the Vatican wants to get rid of the borders, why does every city, and I have articles that came out in the news today and yesterday, mainline news, the police do not arrest illegals for drinking and driving. They do not arrest them for anything but felonies. And they are also hiring aggravated felons that are mainly foreigners to join the military. And the illegals are literally above the law. And then even when the police say Mexican troops are kidnapping and killing Americans, the news tells them that can't be true. I mean, why is Mexico so precious?
Well, because it's a base. First of all, it's a very important base for revolution in the North America. It's a very important operating base, like the Contras have bases in Central America, like the Medellin cartel have their protected bases of operation for drug trafficking. Well, for tyranny and drug trafficking, underworld activities, Mexico is a hotbed. My God, anybody who's more than 10 years old has been to Mexico knows that Mexico is a hotbed for secret societies, crime, criminal syndicates, drug trafficking. So you want to make sure that the borders are left open, because the bottom line is that Europe has had enough of America freedom. I mean, it's so obvious to me, because I've been looking at it for so many years. It is obviously... And
we're going to be destroyed by hook or by crook.
Absolutely. Because that's the only thing Bush ever said that is 100% correct. He said that our enemies hate us because of our freedom.
The terrorists attacked us because they hate our freedom, and then you find out the terrorist is the Black Ops. And they did it to get our freedom, and the government's taking all our freedom.
Well, but our enemies, the enemy of the American people, hate us because of our freedom. And I'm going to tell you something. That is the bottom line. At the end of the day, that is the only truth there is that the enemies of this great republic hate this republic because they cannot have a new world order in which the entire human race crawls on its knees like animals to their masters of superior masters, with a country that talks about individual freedom, liberty, and justice for all. You've got to destroy this nation, and the only people, and who is it? Who are the enemies? It's the Roman system of Europe that has been dominating the earth for 2,300 years, of which America rose up against.
Jordan, stay there. Got to go to break. We're going to talk behind the scenes too, but. Very, very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. In the last month, there have been more car bombings, more rocket attacks, more killings. Mexican troops in uniform came into Phoenix and killed people. How many miles over the border is that? And LAPD won't ask about immigrant status. Associated Press, I was mentioning that. I've got several articles like this in front of me today. That's out of the Associated Press. And my whole point is that the Spanish stations are all got names like the Rebel, the Race. It's all, we're going to take over, we're going to get you, we're going to overthrow the U.S. And the government's saying, oh, my gosh, give all your rights up. There's Al-Qaeda everywhere, and there's no real Al-Qaeda. It's Al-Qaeda. But meanwhile, there is a real group with TV companies buying 700 billboards saying L.A. belongs to Mexico. You've got people that are tourists to Mexico get shook down and robbed. The media covers that up. You've got the illegal aliens, and I've been told this. Cops called in yesterday and agreed, but I've had it happen right here in Austin. You can drunk drive, no insurance, no license, above the law. Citizens, the books are thrown at, and the police are told, do not arrest illegals. And it says right here, they can be under felony charges. And they do not bring up if they're illegal or legal or not. That is not an issue. So for all intents and purposes, the borders are wide open. That fence they're putting up is to keep Americans in.